finally here at Bear Cottage.
Thank you so much.
Good to be at Bear Cottage today, and we're very, very proud that Bear Cottage is one of our main charities that will be backing all the way through the desert as a day. And Kate, Bear Cottage, the concept of Bear Cottage, how did it come about and how long has it been going for?
Sure. Bear Cottage opened 10 years ago, St Patrick's Day 2001. We provide respite and end-of-life care for children with terminal illnesses. We look after a child throughout the trajectory of their condition. With regular respite, they come into Bear Cottage. We take care of their medications, we take care of the cooking and the cleaning, and everything associated with what would usually go on at the child's home. We take care of that. So mum and dad are actually free to just spend some quality time with their child and with their other children, creating those memories, having those fun times that they don't necessarily get the chance to do while they're at home. And I guess just creating those memories that really will last long after their child has passed away. And in the final stages of a child's life, they can come to us, and again, we can guide them, we can support them, we can advise on what a family can expect, and I guess just give that reassurance of what they're going through, of course, dreadful time of their lives, that, you know, it helps the process a little bit, and I guess eases the grief a tiny bit for the families, if that's at all possible. So what we're doing is providing a very, very special service, and there is nothing else like it in New South Wales, and we look after children from right across Australia. So yeah, we are a very special place.
So this is the only establishment like this in the whole of New South Wales?
We're the only children's hospice in New South Wales, so we're the only place that is able to provide respite and end-of-life care for kids with life-limiting conditions and their families. Of course, they spend an awful lot of time in hospital, but unfortunately the children that come to us, they have exhausted all their curative treatment options. So there isn't a lot of any other options available to them, except ensuring that they're comfortable and I guess as pain-free as they possibly can be.
And your staff, how many staff do you have here on a regular basis?
So we have, the majority of our staff are nursing staff, so we provide nursing care 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and that's the largest component of our care. We also have a fundraising manager because we are totally reliant on the community to keep the doors open. Myself, and then we also have a nurse unit manager. We have a volunteer manager who cares, who coordinates the 80 plus volunteers that we have on the book. So we've got the equivalent of about 26 full-time staff members. A lot of us are part-time, but you know, there's 4 times as many volunteers, and we wouldn't be able to operate if it were not for our volunteer base.
So your volunteers are a very crucial part of this place operating on a daily basis.
We couldn't afford to run if we had to pay for the staff to carry out the tasks that they do. So of course they don't do any administering any medications and anything remotely clinical, but they'll do things like reading stories to the books, reading stories to the kids, and doing craft activities with the children. They'll help out in the kitchen. They'll drive the children to appointments, or maybe collect them from home and take them home again. We've got a dog scooter in the place. So
a dog scooter.
We have Scooter, our resident dog. He's part of our family. Oh. So he's got his own team of volunteers who come in and walk him twice a day. So the volunteers do a variety of tasks, a lot of administrative tasks as well around in the office to help us out. And as I said before, you know, we just couldn't operate if it were not for the volunteers.
And the period of time that Bear Cottage has been operating, how many kids would have, you know, gone through the establishment?
Oh, you can't.
It's a tough question.
Yeah,
I know,
it is. I mean, I think this year we've cared for about 360 children. We've had about 25 children pass away this year, both at Bear Cottage or at home and in hospital. So a lot of our children do come back time after time. They're living with the condition over a period of years. So some of our children have been coming to Bear Cottage for regular respite since we actually opened. But their condition means that they are not expected to reach adulthood, and that is our criteria, that we will care for, provide respite for any child whose condition means that they are forever going to be a child. Basically.
And the funding, as you said, it's fairly difficult at times to get the funds in, and that's one of our missions, as to really make awareness of the establishment here at Bear Cottage. And tell me, you're totally reliant on donation?
So I mean we're part of the Children's Hospital at Westmead. We're an initiative of the hospital. At present, we rely totally on the community to keep the doors open, and this year will be $2.6 million to operate and provide our services to these families. And so what happens is any shortfall that we find ourselves in, the hospital does chop us up with untapped funds, but they're then taking those funds from other areas of great need within the hospital. So our vision is that we are 100% funded by the community, and that's what we're striving for. But as you said, it is tough. There's so many worthwhile causes out there. You guys are running for some fabulous causes, and who's to say that Bear Cottage is any better than the next charity and the next charity? We've all got our place in the community. We all provide very vital services, and so it's we just have to thank our lucky stars that we do live in a community that is so generous.
Yeah, well we believe that at MultiMarathon, helping each one of our 15 charities on a basis whereby we come along and we see exactly what's happening here, and that's why we're making the video today. We just hope that everybody out there digs into their pocket at certain times, especially when we're going through the desert and it's Bear Cottage's day, to make donations for an extremely worthwhile organisation. We picked this organisation because it is totally unique, and it's very, very worthwhile the work that you do.
Thank you.
So I'd just like to thank you for having us here today, and we'll be back again. And once again, thank you very much for having us here.
Thanks so much. Good luck.
Yeah, okay.